at least for me, it's like it's definitely something. It's like I take a lot of pride in what I do. I take a lot of pride in my art, and you know, I've been privileged and lucky enough to grow up in an environment where I had a lot of different tools to learn a lot of different skill sets about how to support that. Yeah. And one of them was like graphic design and video production. So for, you know, all the promo stuff for our last, not our last single, but the one before it, Opaque, you know, all of the video shit, even the video itself for it, like we shot that ourselves on our iPhones. Yeah. You know, all of the promotional materials or any of the concepts and stuff like that. If we post it, I fucking hand built it. Yeah. Please like it, at least. Please.
But you know, I feel like what you're kind of getting into with that is something that I've discussed with a few different bands now. And that's like the difference between art and content.
Interesting.
Is to like, okay, and if you're wondering what I'm talking about with this right now, it's
I'm on board.
A painting that you spent like 6 months on, like you're a real painter, you know, and you just poured your life into this thing for however long it was. When people drive themselves nuts with social media as bands and as artists, when we usually do that, it's because we're confusing art with content and content with art.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like winning that battle is finding like little ways to actually generate content that don't involve you taking like this masterpiece that you spent however long on and just
shitting on it.
Just throwing it out into the world, acting like that's supposed to be your content. But if you do that, there's a reason why art museums are a thing.
Yeah,
even in the days of Instagram, you know, because you have to be like there, you have to experience it in person. You can't just look at a picture of it.
And there's a story behind it.
Yeah, and vice versa. I mean, there's a reason like why, you know, Cozell from Beverly Crusher has the pumpkin spice.
Exactly.
Shout out to Cozell.
I love Beverly Crusher.
Because I tried to get him on the podcast a couple times, like, and then, you know, they're busy and stuff like that. And then Michael from Central, shout out, had to remind me that it's pumpkin spice season.
Yeah.
So I was like, Cozell's going to be busy. I'm like, okay, my bad. I didn't know. I didn't know about that until I go on.
The spice rack do his job.
Yeah, my bad. Like I had no clue. And then I go on and I see all this, again, content. Beautiful content.
Yeah. I think also it's a very interesting thing of like, that art versus content thing, that's so fucking on the money. Yeah. Because there are so many times where I'm sitting at like 2 a.m. making a post for tomorrow and being like, okay, I've finally done all the touches up on it. I've finally... You know, I did the sound design on it. I'm sitting there and I'm looking at this 1 minute piece that I cut together off of clips. And I'm like, this is something that like I would be like, one, this is in line with the stuff that we're trying to do. Sure. And it's, you know, it is a piece to help promote things, but it's also like, I'm very fucking proud of this clip.
Yeah. Like, you don't just want to like throw it out there because here's the thing about content too, is like, and this is how you know it's quality content. Nobody's going to give a shit about that 3 months from now.
Yeah, no.
You know,
it's expendable.
A good piece of content, you throw it out into the world and then it's done. You know, so you don't want to do that with your art. You don't want to do that with something that's like very, you know, personal that you really put some effort into. But that's when you know it's good content. It's just like no, when you're like 60 years old, nobody's going to come back to you like, oh man, do you remember that awesome Facebook post you made that one time? It got like 300 likes where you just said some dumb shit and everybody was like, fuck yeah. You know?
I feel like that's the majority of Twitter, bro. Like, bro, do you remember that one tweet that hit?
You know, that's what I'm saying. That is content.
Yeah, I think I that's so right, dude. Fuck. I think for me, I think there also should be another note of it's like, you know, I probably spend way too much making fucking promotional art when I should be making promotional content.
Yes.
I think so. Yes. Like I definitely know that my fucking management is so mad at me sometimes for posted shit when I do and how long it takes me to do.
Shout out to your management.
Shout out to my fucking management for having the patience of legends. But holy fuck, like they've had so many conversations with me where they're like, hey, we totally get that you really love what you're doing. You want to make sure it comes out correctly. But like,
we on a deadline, bro.
Not only that, but it's like, this is just announcing your tour dates.
Yeah.
Like this is just to tell people that you're doing your art.
Yeah.
Fucking like cut yourself some slack, bro.
Just give us we just need content. Honestly. That's all we need. We just need some content. So that way
it's like keeping in mind like that content is to support your art.
Yes.
You know, so fucking in that same vein as like art and content are two different things. I personally need to get way fucking. Cause you know how much sleep I could have saved by now, motherfucker. You know how much fucking rendering time I could have saved in Final Cut. I'm not going through this shit. God, fucking.
Rendering time is the worst on videos. That's why I hate it. But that's that's what really.
Is that why this is a podcast, motherfucking? Your face.
I'm not gonna give away strategies,
allegedly.
But let's just like I'll put it this way: at the beginning of quarantine, I did a challenge with myself with drum videos,
right?
Because I was like, okay, well, I got all this time, like, fuck it, let me try to put out like a whole like clip of a video, and I'll do it every week,
right?
Make it like content, right? But I drove myself nuts. I lasted about 12 weeks before I finally just in short circuited. I'm like, fuck that, because I found myself hating my art in that way because it was it became such a forced and contrived thing.
Yeah, it became consumable rather than art.
Well, it wasn't even that it was consumable. It's just like nobody, like people. First off, like people would get desensitized by the time I put out the second or third one. And like I always say this too. Like as a drummer, I mean, imagine if like Ginger Baker had to like reinvent his style every single week because people already saw it twice and then they got sick of it because that's always what's going to happen on social media.
Yeah,
as opposed to like. You find some sort of like content or something to put out that's quick and it's just like it's very like almost like the news every day or something like that, and then that way it kind of like it frees you to just sort of say like, here's my art. I don't care how long this takes. It'll come out when it come out.
Yep.
And then for all y'all that, just really want to be connected that bad, or you just want to be like a little quick entertainment or something like that, here's some memes.
Yeah.
Here's me talking shit.
You get a little smorgasbord, get a little bit of everything at the buffet.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, man. No,
it's
fucking content. God damn it.
And on that note, we're coming up to an hour 30 here, which makes this officially the longest interview I've done thus far.
I would like to thank I would like to thank COVID-19 for requiring me to sit at home and think even more than I already did about how I really have to have 3 hours of render time for a fucking post that I put up tomorrow that is just to ask people to watch the actual piece of art that I'm trying to make. God damn it. Oh my God.
All right, COVID-19, shout out. We're out of here.